Hey everyone, long time no see. So this video is a follow-up to the last one. This one's more tool focused. I'll help you assemble this machine here. There are some small details in the setup process. Let me just go over what to watch out for, okay? And there are some small design details too that I could talk about a bit more. First, the case when you get it, it should look like this. Then I'll go over the hardware parts too. What I have here is still the ROG low-key power supply, but I only have the white one left. I swapped the cover to black. Just bear with me and take a look. Okay. And once we're done installing, check out this intake grill right here, the white fan logo in the middle of it. You know, just to be clear, how does that blocking look? Does it seem too jarring? Let's just check the effect. This motherboard here is the most popular one these days. It's the ROG X870i. Folks, the heatsink mounted there is a 67mm one we recommend since it has best compatibility. This ID cooling in 67XT has a stock fan that's not too great. So I swapped it out for an actual 12x15 fan instead. That is better. But some in my group said that the Mio 0F6 bias strip fan from Cooler Master, the 12x15 one, should outperform this one in both noise and performance, I think. I haven't tested it, but I trust my group mates. Go ahead and give it a try. And I'm trying to buy some from Cooler Master too. And for this CPU, we've got a 9800X3D installed. If we go for something even higher than that, it might run a bit hotter though. So today I'm planning to install these two GPUs, and there are some other cards as well. Maybe I can try those too, just to see. The one on the left is an RTX 5080 Founders Edition, a stunning stock GPU. And the one on the right is an Asus Prime. This Asus card is also a 5080, just check their lengths. They were exactly the same. In height, the Founders Edition is a bit taller, and in thickness, the Asus card is just a bit thicker. But they both meet NVIDIA's FF ready size specs, so my case here should be able to fit them both just fine, without any issues at all. Where to start disassembling? This side panel. No screws hold it in place. It is a slide lock. Just give it a blow, and pull it out. And you can see the internal structure inside then. Seems pretty simple, right? To make installing the motherboard easier, pop off this base plate first. Our power supply is fixed to this base plate here, and there are screw holes for that on it too. But before securing this power supply, you need to plug in that built-in extension cable. First, in this tight space, you can hop out but bend it into a fixed shape, and you'll need to give it a bit of a push too. Then install 4 power-specific screws. Once the power unit is in, it should look like this. Check the cable ease bent shape for reference, just like that. You can see today's power cable is quite long though, Taitis. The original one that comes with this local unit here. Why not just use custom cables? Well, I mainly wanted to show folks that even with all these power cords, there is still enough space inside this case to fit them all in. Of course, if you have higher standards, you can go for custom cables, especially that 24-pin one for the motherboard there. This cable, since there are so many thick ones, I'd still suggest just getting a custom cable that's about 20 centimeters long. So here's the case's built-in PCIe 5.0 extension cable. First, plug it into the motherboard, twist it down, and then fit it over the 4 screw holes. These screw holes have 4 little steps on them, and they'll nest right into the motherboard screw holes here. Once this motherboard is slipped in, it should fit and not budge at all. Now, this install might run into some compatibility issues. Take for example Mingxuan's mini ITX boards. They have quite a few that aren't standard, like 170mm by 170mm. It would be 172.5 by 172.5, or some slightly more refined. And slightly larger dimensions. That bigger size motherboard of theirs might not even fit inside this frame I've got here. So right now the one I'd recommend is ROG fits most, and it's less prone to issues. Once the motherboard is in, just hook up the wires. When doing this in bulk later, I might trim them a bit shorter too. This is a set used for FF10, just tuck it under that GPU extension cable there. Alright? When plugging in this cable, folks, take note, it has a specific direction and can be reversed. Among these 4 pins, one is clearly a bit wider, and on the socket side, there's also one pin with a slightly wider opening to match that one up. I mean, folks say this is mistake proofing. Can't plug it in the wrong way. But this is something I've seen. Users often report plugging it in wrong. Mistake proofing's there, but if you force it, you can still jam it in backward. If you force it in, one of these 2 little tabs will crack and split open, and then you can just pry it apart. And if you find this issue, try plugging it in backward, it still works, and the motherboard screws aren't loose. And next step, I should be putting this power supply and base plate back in place again. Before doing this, I think the power cable for the CPU should plug in fine later, so I might as well plug it in now. And this outlet here was custom made. You can see my little logo right there on top of it. So why would I go out of my way and mold a custom power socket? Let me show you this thing I have right over here. The way it looks now, this shape here, is pretty much the standard design you see on most small cases for power ports and electrical jacks in stores today. With this design shape, when we do some layout planning, you'll find it has quite a few limitations. For instance, take this outlet position I have here. If I were to place this outlet fully right here, you'll find that the plug's ears here stick out past the edge and mess up this surface right here. These ears here would mess up that surface too, so you can go here. And if you can't put it here, you just flip it over, then that would work, right? Once flipped over, the back side of this plug will interfere with the cooler fan. So that is quite a pain. You can check out other cases that are available on the market. Most of them place that socket either above or below the motherboard's I/O board, which fits within my case size overall space dimensions just fine. I'll add one. A bit more aggressive, some folks just plug the power cable right here, then cut a slot so it can run straight back from that spot instead. This method works just fine too. And just by doing it this way, making it more comfortable and perfect, it'll feel better in my mind as well. This spot here isn't easy with a screwdriver. You'll need one with a really thin, slender handle, for sure. Of course, if you remove the CPU fan first, the whole process will be smoother that way. This wire is used inside the FF04 model, so its length will be just a bit longer, and we'll adjust that in mass production, though we won't make it too short either. Our setup here works with ROG low-key power supply, but it can also take other brands of SFX power supplies, including the SFXL versions as well. Some like Low-key's power cable setup.ITI socket is here, and there are quite a few power ports in that area, so we still need to leave a bit of extra cable length for that. Those power outlets that are farther out, if I just made one cable and stretched it to its maximum length, then during the installation process, these parts would be pulled and restricted quite a bit by it. Very restricted and just not comfy or convenient. Pushing the base plate along with the PSU now. Now let's just sort out and tidy up these wires. This whole cable plugging process feels way more comfortable than with those A4 structured, roughly 10-liter ITX cases that I've used before. Let us install this ASUS one first, since its spot differs from the Founders Edition. Founders Edition has a slanted power port and it exits in this direction here. And this ASUS graphics card, like other non-reference designs, is in that more traditional standard spot. It just comes out sideways like that though. So in the cable outlet design, I added two dedicated slots for that. I'll install this ASUS one first and route the GPU power cable up through that side slot I made for it. So for that 24-pin cable, I'd suggest getting a custom one. Yeah, it fits in here, but honestly, it just doesn't look that nice in this spot. And snap on the panel. Yeah, okay, the motherboard and main PSU section for the lower part of this PC are mostly in place. Now, you can see that power supply fan is white in color. From this angle, you can see some white there. But from a straight-on view, you won't see that at all. But airflow is still decent enough. No need to worry about that, folks. Take a look here. Now for that spot back there, you can see the power port is placed right there. The shape and size of it look quite comfortable, wouldn't you say? This spot is empty right now, and just 2 days ago, my user group suggested that the slot at the back of your FF07 is also empty, just like this one here. If you buy a liquid cooling module, just install it. If you get an HDD module, do that too. So for your FF10 now, even though it's reserved for liquid cooling, most users actually don't use that cooling though. Having that spot empty just feels annoying. So these past few days, I've been trying to 3D print some little blocks to see if I can plug it up somehow. Block it nicely. And yesterday, teacher Coco told me why not fix a metal plate or chunkier so folks can have a spot to stick that Wi-Fi antenna on for better signal. I think what Coco teacher said makes sense too. I'll look into how to fix this up a bit better. And before everyone ships them out, I'll add this thing for folks. Once the lower part is done, let us start installing the top GPU bits. Now, would anyone think we need to rip all this stuff out? No need to do that. Just remove the top cover first, then add these 2 layers beneath. So you'll take out 3 total. Oh, I'll try this one too. It is a bit shorter than the Founders Edition card. I'll try it later. Can I skip 1 layer just this once? To take this inner part out, you need a H4 Allen key. This set of screwdrivers is quite neat. You know, the bits on the front. Those tips match the ones we commonly use for screwdrivers. Just swap out whichever one you need, I guess. But this end of it here, you know, is just a hexagon socket, size H4. So when I use this screwdriver, it feels pretty good. I use the H2.5 bit on the front, and that lets me unscrew the screws from the top layer right there. Once twisted off, this screw head here just lines up with that 4.0 screw slot below. And it fits right in, nested tight as well. And the backside of this H4 slotted tip, yeah, that thing right there, can just twist off that threaded stud on the side as well. This is just so convenient. Okay, this layer is open now. Right here is where they fix that GPU bracket. This spot is just for that exact purpose. First, pull out the GPU power cable to a reasonable length. Don't make it too long, or there will be nowhere to tuck it in. First, move the GPU power cable aside, then gently slide the graphics card in and lower it down smoothly to align with the PCIe slot below. Okay? And press it down then. Just nudge this GPU cable bit to the side so it lines up better with that power connector above. I got the cable direction wrong. Need to twist it once. So focus on this before you start installing. Just fit one GPU screw in, tighten the GPU screws. Then install this board on top. Not sure if I can snap this on as it is now. Let me try. That doesn't work. Need to add a layer here. Adding one makes the case's overall aspect ratio look a bit more pleasant, I think. Besides this card, non-reference design boards include last year's RTX 40 series pad and this year's GeForce RTX 50 series PA. Should hit China soon, I bet, and there are other brands as well. Any cards that meet NVIDIA's SF-ready size spec should fit, and even smaller ones than that standard should work too. How does this look to everyone out there? Seems pretty good already, right? I think it might look even better with the factory version installed. Instead, the one flaw I see with this whole rig is still the power cable for the graphics card. I reckon, luckily, there are just one or two angles where you can spot that cable, and it happens to be black in color. The GPU is black and the case is black too, so it doesn't look too jarring or stand out much. The downside is it was not perfect, so I still hold some expectations for this thing. I guess inside this spot here, there is a slot, and on the other side of that slot, there is a BTF GPU power mounting position there. If one day ASUS makes. And I'm using that Sapphire GPU based on ASUS specs right now. If they release GPUs with BTF interface and small form factor sizes, then I'll make a power adapter for that GPU. So folks won't need that cable, just plug in and it gets power. That'd be perfect. I'll wait for that day. But there are things I'd rather see, like our Founders Edition Big Brother card. The 5080 is fine, but since the 4090 came out, the 5090 now runs over 600 watts on just one port. Every time a new GPU drops, there are plenty of news reports about fried ports. So does NVIDIA even want to change that? If ASUS one day skips NVIDIA and makes Founders Edition cards, as BTF wouldn't, my case be way more fun to use. Then, let me just swap the GPU cable position first and tuck the power cables back into this slot. Keep sodium from getting squished. From this angle here, it is easier to spot that PCIe slot right there. Then press it down more, and now comes the plug-in part. Once in, just tighten and straighten the cable up. The order of these wires should be neat better to arrange them nicely. That's why I think this reference design looks better than the non-reference design it had lighting. I recall. So will this case be one of the nicest for RTX 50 series Founders Edition graphics cards? I think it still counts. Yeah, alright. So that's the end of today's video. Thanks for watching everyone. Bye!